Welcome back to Flying Off the Bounce, continuing our NBA discussion today. Before we move over to the Eastern Conference, one more story I want to get to from the West, and that is the Los Angeles Clippers. A real crazy offseason for the Clippers. We'll go with probably the story that didn't get as much attention, bringing in Paul Pierce. A move that I love, reuniting Pierce with Doc Rivers. Really, definitely something that I think is a great move for them. They bring in that veteran leadership who knows how to perform in the playoffs, knows how to get to a championship, is comfortable with Doc Rivers, and will mentor the younger players. So, like Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. What do you guys think of Pierce? Is he, washed up? Or does his veteran leadership contribute to the Clippers? And then we'll get to the whole DeAndre Jordan thing after this.
Well, coming from a Washington Wizards fan, I'm disappointed that he left the DC area. He was a great leader. He brought this type of swagger that influenced Bradley Beal and John Wall. This winning type swagger that when you go into every game that, hey, we can beat you no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're LeBron James. It doesn't matter if you're Tim Duncan, that we're going to beat you. That's the type of mentality Pierce brings, And he also brings that, like you said, winning type mentality. He's been one of the best players in the NBA. He's been through playoffs, NBA finals. So he has the experience to help the Clippers get to the next step. So, yeah, I think for a Wizards fan, I'm disappointed, but for the Clippers, it's a great pickup for them because he's going to help them out, reach that next step. He's not going to score as much as he did back in the day, but he's going to bring the leadership they need to win.
Well, also coming from a Wizards fan, I'm a little disappointed that Paul Pierce left, but he did what he had to do in DC, Yeah. He showed Otto Porter how to be a player in the NBA, And he showed John Wall and Bradley Beal how to be winners in the NBA, But I actually think that I'm actually happy for him because, let's be realistic, the Wizards aren't going to win a championship.
No. Yeah.
We could definitely possibly be on our way. But going to LA with the Clippers, they have a better foundation there, and they definitely have a good chance at winning.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough to get out that West, but if they get out, they'll definitely have a chance,
Yeah.
And another guy that's going to make a difference on that team is Lou Williams. Lou Williams for the Clippers. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to make a difference. Him and Jamal Crawford coming off the bench, that's going to be some nice scoring. So, yeah.
As Paul Pierce would say, I called game.
One of the best lines in the history
Absolutely.
of sports.
He brings the certain instincts that players have, and he definitely has that mentality. And he wants to win, and what a great way, to put him to L.A. and having Doc Rivers by his side.
Back home.
He's
from L.A.
Yeah, from Inglewood, California. Yeah. Yes, he is. He just brings a great intensity to the team, great leadership role. He already has 2 NBA Finals experience, 1-1 against the Los Angeles Lakers when they were hot, So he knows what it takes to win. He understands that he has probably way better players than what he had with Boston.
Yeah.
You got Chris Paul. You got Blake Griffin. You got DeAndre Jordan, one of the best centers in the game. What more can you ask for? It's time to win championships now.
Johnny, you brought up DeAndre Jordan, and that's finally where we're going to get to. I've been plugging it for probably about 10 minutes, and we'll get to DeAndre Jordan.
DJ.
Let's get to DeAndre
Jordan.
So, basically, in summary, what happened was Jordan, free agent this year, tested the waters, said that he would sign with the Dallas Mavericks. All of a sudden, it comes time to sign. He's re-signing with the Clippers without even calling the Mavericks. Now, legally, he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't sign anything with Dallas. All he said was, yes, I'll come, and then when it came time to sign, because there is the 8-day grace period in between free agency starting and when players can officially sign. But is that okay? Can other players do that? Is that going to be something that we're going to see from now on, that players are going to say that they'll sign with one team and wait for another team to give out a basically like a plea bargain and woo them back?
Well, let me tell you something. You know what he did? He did what TLC did. Don't go chasing waterfalls. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, I thought that was I really thought even if he went with Dallas, he would have been fine. He would have been really, really fine.
And Dallas is going to be a team to watch out for. I think
Absolutely.
Darren Williams is going to come back this year. I think so.
One thing I'll say, it was a huge mess. But yeah, like you said, he didn't do nothing wrong. And I think you might see this a lot in free agency down the road, because this might be a way for players to get, if for example, if you want to go to Cleveland but they weren't going to give you the money, you say, okay, I'm going to go to Dallas, but you never sign anything. You might make your team you want to go to pay you the money you want. So I think you're going to see that a lot from other NBA players, which I'm not going to lie, it's pretty smart. It's pretty smart. It's showing teams saying, hey, if you want me, this is what you got to do to get me.
Mm-hmm. It's all about leverage, you know?
But whatever happened to the days where an agreement, even a verbal agreement, stands?
Yeah, it was crazy. I was honestly, I'm gonna say this about DeAndre Jordan. When the Clippers got to play Dallas Mavericks, he's gonna be in for one rude. I know they're gonna
flagrant foul or two.
Yeah, they're gonna nationally televise that game, and you're gonna hear the boos from the crowd on them, because when they got DeAndre Jordan, it's so much hope. Like, they were so happy. It was all over social media. It was a big deal. Yeah, it was. Mark Cuban was happy. Like, okay, we might actually got something going here. But then he said, all right, I'm starting to rethink things. And then he goes back to Clippers without even letting Dallas speak to him. So it was a whole big old mess up. Like you said, Ian, I think the time where a verbal agreement was still final, I think those days are gone, because players are going to say, all right, I still want to play with my team, but I want them to give me the money. So I have a feeling later on you might see guys commit themselves to a team, but they're going to wait till the team they really want to go to say, okay, we're going to max that.
You know what else bothers me with this whole scenario? That DeAndre Jordan comes out looking like the bad guy here, that, he switched his mind and everything. But the Los Angeles Clippers pitched to him after he said that he was going to the Dallas Mavericks. Mm-hmm. And nobody's bashing them. That, they're just as culpable. They should have said, okay, Jordan said that he's going to the Mavericks. Okay, we lost.
I disagree. I'm sorry to say, but if you want something, you gotta go get it. No. And obviously, they must not have went and got it, or tried to get it hard enough. So they went and obviously held him hostage in his own home. And they went and did what they had to do to get their guy back. And I actually think that was the best thing for DeAndre Jordan. I don't think he should have left the Clippers for his own sake. No. Because I don't think he was ready to be that franchise player that they were pitching to him. And I think maybe he knew that. Within himself, he knew that. Yeah. And he needed that team around him, because he is what he is. He's a defensive player, shot blocker, energy guy. Lob it up to him, he going to go get it. Yeah. But he's nothing more than that. Great player, but nothing more than that.
And I agree with Ryan. That is something that you're going to see with the new players now, especially the youngsters, where they're able to do that. But if you really think about it, it's been happening. LeBron James has been opting out of contracts for how many years, shall I say?
Right.
It's just a different way of taking it. So
that's entirely different. There's the option to opt out.
Yeah.
Fine. He chooses to do that. That's legally. He's legally within his rights. The contract could expire at this time, and he's choosing to have it expire. Yeah. Fine. I have no problem with that. It's the way the contract is structured. But now, whenever someone says, I'm going to go to this team, you can't trust them. There's the trust factor of players in the NBA, I think, after this scenario is going to plummet now.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate that that it's come to that a player says, "Oh, I'm going to sign here." I'm not going to believe it until I physically see them put the pen to the paper at the press conference and hold up the jersey.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the only way that I'm going to believe it. And it shouldn't have to be like that. We should say, okay, he's saying he's going to sign there. He's there. Done deal. Let's move on. It's just opening up a whole nother dimension that does not have to be open.
Yeah. Yeah, the players do have the power nowadays.
No.
They definitely do. Because back in the day, they give Magic Johnson had a 25-year contract,
Yeah.
and they would just, if they didn't want you anymore, they'd find a way to trade you.
Yeah.
But nowadays, free agency is just so big now,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. The players just have the power. Like I
Yeah,
said,
they do.
they definitely have the power. It's a players' league. Players win games.
Yeah.
So.
Any final thoughts on Jordan or the Clippers or anything before we move over to the Eastern Conference? The floor is yours.
One thing I'll say about DeAndre Jordan is that all eyes are going to be on him. This whole situation, people are going to, analysts, writers, they're all going to look at him, and they're going to wait till he screws up. So that's with this whole issue. Where if this is clean, and he just went to Dallas, or he said, okay, I'm just gonna resign with the Clippers and not make Mark Cuban do all this mess, Dallas have all this drama going on, I think he'll be fine. But it's gonna be a lot more pressure. I don't know if he sees it right now, but going to this season, there's gonna be a lot more pressure on DeAndre Jordan than he expected.
Look for Damian Lillard to average 30+ this year. He has no choice.
He has no choice.
Definitely, Ryan, going off of what you said, definitely Jordan put an unnecessary spotlight on him, and now he's going to be under the microscope. And personally, I don't think he's going to be able to take it because he couldn't take the fact of being that franchise player in Dallas. Now he's not going to be a franchise player and still have the spotlight on him, probably even more of a spotlight on him now. I think he's going to crumble, and it's one of the worst things that's going to happen for his career. But quickly, we've only got a few minutes left here in this segment on the NBA. We've spent so much time on the teams in the Western Conference, and granted we should because the West is just so much more stacked than the Eastern Conference. But I want to get your guys one team from the East who either excelled in the offseason and did a good job, or took a step back and really had a bad offseason. So either way, you guys, one team.
Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers are definitely going to be a team to look out for. Paul George, fully healthy. Monte Ellis. Miles Turner. I think they're definitely going to be a team to reckon with, especially in the Eastern Conference.
All right, I'm going to go with... I have a lot to talk about. I'm going to go with my hometown team, the Washington Wizards. I'm not going to say they did a lot this off. They really didn't do a lot this offseason because this is a team saving money because they're trying to bring KD to DC, the whole thing, the KD to DC 2016. That's what they're trying to do. They let Paul Pierce walk. They drafted Kelly Oubre, which, in my opinion, I'm still iffy about that. He had a solid summer league, but Glenn Rice Jr. had a great summer league, and where is he helping out the Wizards? Mm-hmm. So they didn't improve, but they didn't digress at all. I still think I'm projecting to be I'm not gonna go 4th seed. I know they've been trying to get to that, try to get there, but I don't think they're there. They're still having Dane is at the power 4 position, which I wish
it's scary.
He is scary because he's injury prone,
right.
And Otto Porter is likely going to take the starting role at the small forward, and Kelly Oubre is going to try to fight for it, but I don't think he's ready for it. So I think I got the Wizards going to be either a 5th or 6th seed team, but also too look out for Bradley Beal to make a jump in this year. I think he has all-star potential, and I think he's going to show it this year. He just got to stay healthy.
would have to agree with Eli. Indiana Pacers, man. Paul George back, hungry as ever. Monte Ellis, great scorer, but does not play any defense.
Yeah.
That's a great scorer, but doesn't at all.
It's half the league.
But I still think that they have potential to go back to the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't think this year, by next year, because they still have to fill in that role of Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert was good when Paul George was healthy. He was a Defense Player of the Year, one of the top centers in the game, and then he fell off. History from there.
Well,
but they still have it, I think.
Yeah. Well, as Ryan was talking about the Wizards, I think they're going to be a lot better than a 5 or 6 seed. I think John Wall is the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. That's not a biased opinion. I just really do. He makes his teammates better. Yeah. He sees the floor. He can get to the basket and create for everyone else. He's just, if you just really watch him play, he's like a surgeon. He just picks apart the defense. He makes the same plays every game, and he just simplifies everything for everyone else, and that's what great point guards do.
One thing I'll say about John Wall, it's been talk saying who's better, John Wall, Kyrie. Kyrie's a great scorer, but John Wall, like Eli said, he changes the team. Without him, this team is honestly under 500. This guy is a game changer, and imagine if he had a shot. If he can shoot, had a consistent jumper, arguably he'd be probably one of the top 3-point guards in the league. But this guy changes the Washington Wizards big time.
I think you're definitely going to see a nice little shot from John Wall this year. I really do. And even last year and the year before that, it's not like he can't shoot. He's definitely gotten better each year.
He's gotten better. And you can show in his game, all around, he's gotten better as a passer, everything. You've seen him improving. He's another guy who works hard. He's passionate about the game, and he's doing whatever it takes to be the best. And one thing he does, he lives on people sleeping on him. Like he's been getting cut from the USA camp, not making the not even the NBA all third team, all second team.
That was so disrespectful.
Which I honestly believe that was they're sleeping on him. So he lives on that. He wants to prove the league, saying, "Hey, if you guys gonna keep on sleeping with me, keep on. But I'm gonna do what's."
And he played 82 games last year. Had that little hiccup in the playoffs, which really I think cost us the series. But John Wall.
Can't disagree with you guys at all there. The Pacers definitely seem to be making moves in the right direction. The Wizards, John Wall, their progression is definitely happening. But for me, my team, really quickly, I know we're out of time on this segment, has got to be a team that's already there, I think. And that is the Toronto Raptors. Already have the division title in hand in the Atlantic Division. And nobody in that division scares me. They'll beat up on Boston, New York, Brooklyn, Philadelphia. So that doesn't scare me. They'll put together a good record and then be, a top team in the Eastern Conference. Again, do I think they'll be able to compete with the Cavaliers and get to the finals? No. But if they can progress and get further into the playoffs than they have in the past few years, then definitely they are making moves in the right direction. And that'll wrap up our NBA coverage. We've got about 10 minutes left here. We'll come back. We'll get into a little NFL. The season kicking off tomorrow night. You don't want to miss it. Flying off the bounds coming up right after this. Tonight.